How's it going, fantasy owners and YouTube Nation? Chris Pearson here, joined this week by my co-host and co-owner with the most, Nate Hettinger here. Week 5 now going up around the bend for us this week after another week. If you survived the bye week from week 4, like we did, barely, good for you. There were 6 teams on bye last week, only 2 this week though, Miami and Oakland. So not as bad as last week where teams like the Broncos, the Seahawks, the Cardinals, some really good teams were on a bye and you were without a lot of your players. But we barely managed to survive last week. We were watching Monday night, New England, Kansas City. A little worried, obviously. And then our opponent, who had Tom Brady, we were up by 10 going into the night, and he proceeded to have one of the worst games of his career. And we just had to laugh at the screen and at the TV screen. It was funny.
Tom Brady basically stunk up the premises.
Pretty much, yeah. He stunk up Kansas City. He stunk up that whole game. Only had 6 points, and we survived by 4.
And if you could only see the looks that both Tom Brady and Bill Belichick were giving
their faces. What are we doing?
Angry Brady face.
Angry Brady face. Angry Brady face. Yeah. Angry Bill face. Angry Patriot face. However you wanted to say it. Chiefs just carved him up. It was great. So hopefully, if you managed to survive that like we did, good for you. Whether you're sitting right now at 4-0, 3-1, 2, so hopefully you're 500 or above. If not, don't fret. There's still a lot of guys out there that are starting to even make waves on the waivers. There's a lot of different situations out there, running back, wide receiver. So still a lot of options out there if you're not sitting in a good situation. So if you're hit by injuries or inconsistency or whatever. So let's just go ahead and dive right in as we always do. Starting as always with the quarterback position. Now these are projections for the week ahead. It's kind of how we break things down on a position-by-position basis. I just minimized it so we could see the screen. You want your pretty face to stay on the screen, don't you?
I don't know if they can see me if I don't see the webcam screen there, Dippy.
Dippy. All right. Let's see if I can move it out here kind of a way that maybe you can still see. Because I gotta be able to move this down while have to be up there at the same time. Because see if I do that, it disappeared.
Okay, hopefully.
Right.
Yeah.
So long as you don't move too much. All right, so at the top of the list, he finally put together a good week last week. Aaron Rodgers of Green Bay. There was a lot of panic in Packer Nation about the team that was starting out so well. They got beat by the Lions the week before. They were 1-2, and Aaron Rodgers told Packer fans to relax. He told them to relax. We'll be okay. Well, he turned it around in a big way last week against Chicago. Packers destroyed the Bears. He's finally starting to get in a rapport. Now, the Packers still can't run because Eddie Lacy's still struggling. But as long as he's connecting with his receivers, guys like Jordy Nelson and Randall Cobb, he's going to have a decent week. He's projected for 29 points this week against Minnesota. So it looks like and Minnesota's defense, not all that stellar.
Okay.
So I think he's definitely going to, he's definitely trending back in the right direction. I think he's definitely a solid option this week. And no surprises, you get Peyton Manning back off the bye, going up against Arizona. Good matchup. You're definitely going to roll with Peyton. Same with Drew Brees and the Saints. Going up, they are hosting Tampa Bay. It is at home. That answers your question that you asked me earlier.
Yes.
About New Orleans, Tampa Bay. So it is in New Orleans. We got the Saints DST off the wire as a backup streaming option. If your defense isn't doing very well like ours, Carolina, the past 2 weeks in a CBS league, 1 point and donut against the likes of Pittsburgh and Baltimore. So
if you could put a sound effect to that, it would be
or the Price is Right horn. Exactly. You suck. Major ballsage. So.
Ballsage or ballsage?
That's right. That's right. Exactly. Dad had to bring that one up. So you're definitely rolling with Drew this week. Matthew Stafford of Detroit, 26 points going against Buffalo. Buffalo, decent defense this year, not great. And it's surprising that Stafford is projected for that much, even though Calvin Johnson was not at full capacity last week, only had the 1 point. We were fortunate because of it.
Yeah.
Because we were able to survive with that. The ankle injury clearly wasn't, if he was just being used as a decoy, clearly not too effective, but he's got a better option. Stafford last week was playing the Jets. Jets tough defense. Maybe that's why, some of his guys struggle more often than not. So, the better matchup this week. Buffalo's also starting a rookie quarterback in Kyle Orton. Not a rookie quarterback, but the non-starter backup to EJ Manuel in Kyle Orton. So, hasn't played in a while, I should say. Might be like a rookie because they haven't played in a while. But, so Stafford's definitely a safe bet. Phillip Rivers has been insane of late. He's connecting with his receivers. Obviously, with the running game, decimated by injuries. No Ryan Matthews. No Danny Woodhead, unfortunately for us, who had to ditch him because of his season-ending injury. So he's getting together with his receivers, guys like Keenan Allen, guys like Eddie Royal, Malcolm Floyd. So good numbers for Rivers of late. He's going up against the Jets, so a little bit tougher matchup for him, but still projected for 26 points. He's still a safe option. Andrew Luck. Our opponent has him this week, even though they are 0-4. This is probably because they're struggling at other positions. I don't think it's because of Andrew Luck. He's been a consistent option. Going up against Baltimore this week, 25 points. I'd say that's still solid. Baltimore's defense in the past has been okay, not like unless like the early teams of the 2000s when they were strong.
Yeah.
But of late, nothing really to be fully impressed at.
Okay.
So I think he's definitely a good option this week. Now, Roethlisberger has the matchup to die for at Jacksonville. So your starts of the week are your Steelers because, Big Ben, your running backs, Antonio Brown, guys like, at wide receiver, Heath Miller at tight end. I mean, these guys are going to roll. The kicker, Schweesum, good option this week. Yeah, you can go and scroll down a little bit. Russell Wilson going up against Washington. Well, if the Giants-Washington game was any indication what the Giants could do to Washington, Russell Wilson's probably going to have a big week this week, too.
Yeah, I'd say they finally woke up.
Yeah.
Hey, it's week 3, 4. We better start playing some football. Hey, the season started.
Yeah, so now they finally found some offense in the tank. And, oh, by the way, yeah. We found an offense. It was in this cold jar the whole time. We finally managed to get the lid off the jar and unscrew it. And, oh, there it is!
Were the Giants missing their Megacore?
Oh! Hi-oh! Rushdown reference. I like that.
Yeah, man.
So Wilson, I think, is definitely a strong option this week as well. Yeah. What do you think about Matt Ryan, though, against the Giants?
I'd say...
And it's at the Giants. It's at MetLife. It's at MetLife. So that's a challenge. We know that Ryan usually tends to play better indoors at home.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a little bit of a tougher challenge. But if you don't have a better option, I don't think you can sit Matt Ryan.
Okay,
So I think he's still a safe bet. You still got the talent there in Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
So in that same game, would you start Eli against Atlanta based on his performance last 2 weeks?
Oh, man, I don't know.
Because here's the thing. Like, you don't... Because then, you don't know then what Eli's going to come out. Is it going to be the one from the last 2 weeks that has performed well, or the first 2 weeks who did absolutely nothing?
I mean, he has just been so up and down lately, though.
Yes.
Yes, they've... finally woke up in the last week or two, but it still raises some questions. Now, he's at the point this season where, you're right, you don't know. It's like,
exactly.
Okay.
Right. You're just not sure.
He just needs to build up more consistency.
Yeah. And the talent's there. I mean,
oh yeah.
In the game against Washington, he threw to that tight end, Larry Donnell, 3 touchdowns, threw all his touchdowns to that tight end. Who's, by the way, becoming a pretty strong tight end 1 must-start option. But he's still got Victor Cruz. You've still got Ruben Randall. You've still got talent there around you that you can make happen.
Spread the offense.
Absolutely. So,
use your people. Use your personnel.
Yeah. So as long as he's in a rhythm with those guys, he's going to be a solid start. But then the concern, of course, is the turnovers. That's really been the big thing with Eli is interceptions.
And we saw, 1 or 2
In the Washington game?
Yeah.
Yeah, there were a few, but not on the level that we've seen of late. So I think if you have no better option, you can probably start him as a low 1, high 2, but that's only if you don't have like a guy ahead of him in that game. Plus, again, the benefit of being at home, it's going to help. Jay Cutler at Carolina. Normally, I would have said that's not an elite start, but again, with the way the Carolina defense has been bottoming out and stinking of late, I think Cutler could be a solid option.
Yeah,
I think certainly he's projected for 22 points, and I think that will certainly work. Now, Colin Kaepernick is going up against that same Chiefs defense that shut down Brady. He's projected for 21. I don't know if he's going to get there.
Well, it's at home, it looks like.
Yeah, they are at home.
Kansas City.
But here's also here's an interesting difference. Kaepernick has the running ability that Brady doesn't.
Yes.
Brady's not a runner. So maybe that's a difference.
Run.
Yes, he can. So you would trust Kaepernick against Kansas City as a starter if you had the option.
Well, it depends on how their run defense is.
Right.
And also, can the 49ers give a good enough pocket to Kaepernick so he can either go outside, or can they spread the middle,
Yep.
Can they give him the space he needs?
Exactly, because clearly Brady did not have that on Monday night.
I mean, because you have a running quarterback like Colin Kaepernick, and going a little earlier.
You've got Gore in the backfield.
Vince Young. Vince Young was another one.
Okay, yes. Yep, I remember. Yep, that's right.
You give these multi-talented quarterbacks the space. Tebow. As long as he got space, I mean, Kaepernick, if you give him the space, he's gone.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So I would say probably you could get away with him as a start. Will he reach 21? I don't know. That seems like a little high based on the momentum that Kansas City has. But then again, San Francisco looked pretty good last week against Philly, so we'll see.
And again, that also matters on the personnel. We were talking about the personnel of the Giants.
Yes.
Who's he got to throw to?
Crabtree, Bolden.
Yeah.
Now, Vernon Davis's tight end isn't healthy, so that's but he's still got at least Crabtree and Bolden. Yeah. So, our man, Mr. Romo, going up against Houston this week, projected for 21. He hit it big last week, 30 points last week, and that was huge for us. Now the Texans' D, of course, is very strong because of one man, J.J. Watt. And Watt had an interception return last week for a touchdown. I mean, nobody stopped him. I don't know if you saw the highlight. They played at our TVs at Walmart all the time, so if you were still at Walmart, you would see the highlight.
Do you remember, I'm in produce away from the TV.
That's true.
Anyway,
that's true. But
I was in the front of the store anyway.
That's true. But yeah, he took an interception to the house. I mean, nobody touched him. So he's really, and with Clowney out, he's really the sole guy on the Texans defense that really is making plays. So I think Romo is still he's still going to have a big week this week.
Clowney.
Jadeveon Clowney. Clowney. That's a Clowney question, bro. I don't know. You don't want to mess with Clowney, though. Remember the hit against Michigan? That got replayed on SportsCenter over and over and over and over. Here I come. Boom goes your helmet. It flies off in the air.
You want to make fun of me because my last name's Clowney? Crunch.
Yeah, and your helmet goes 10 yards downfield.
Ow.
Yeah, it was pretty epic.
Mm-hmm.
After that, so yeah, Romo I think is still a good start. Nick Foles of Philly going up against St. Louis, projected for 19 points. The Rams defense has been surprisingly tough. Their front four is actually quite strong, but still, again, with Foles with the weapons he has around him. Darren Sproles, that multi-down back who can catch passes out of the backfield. Jeremy Maclin is now the top receiver. The rookie Jordan Matthews out of Vanderbilt. Riley Cooper. He's got the weapons there that can put up big numbers.
Now you see me, now you don't, and I take off.
Exactly. Well, I don't know. Is Foles really a natural runner?
No.
Sproles.
Yes.
Oh, Sproles. Yeah, I've never seen Foles run. Maybe on occasion, but I don't think he's a natural runner. But against the Rams, I would say at least a high-end 2. If you have better options, you can start him over. But I still think if you've got Foles as your main guy, you can roll with him. Flacco against the Colts in Indy.
I don't like that.
You don't like Flacco in Indy?
No. I don't like Baltimore anytime they play Indy, honestly.
Why? Because of the rivalry?
Because the rivalry and because Baltimore's been good.
Yeah, no, they have been. No, and last week against Carolina, there was also kind of a revenge thing because Steve Smith, playing his former team in Carolina, said there'd be blood and guts everywhere. And there was, because he caught a deflected pass and went to the house for a touchdown, got in the faces of his former team. So he said had something to prove.
Yeah.
So said you shouldn't let me go from Carolina to Baltimore. So not an elite star, you would think, but maybe a high 2, like Flacco usually is. You would say. Okay.
High 2.
Okay. Cam Newton against the Bears. Newton has really been kind of real iffy this season because of the fact that A, he's been playing injured, rib injuries, ankle injury issues, and 2, his running game is decimated.
Mm-hmm.
He's starting a running back this week named Darren Reeves, who you've probably never heard of. Exactly.
I've heard the name.
Okay, but Jonathan Stewart out, D'Angelo Williams out, injury, Mike Tolbert out, injury, so you're down to your 4th-string running back.
Yeah.
You've only got one elite wide receiver now in Kelvin Benjamin, except for tight end Greg Olsen, but that's it. So going up against the Bears, they are at home, so they have the benefit of that, but I would say, again, I can't recommend him as a must-start. Again, more of a number 2. We're kind of getting into these number 2 guys at this point.
What's the yellow squares?
Yellow squares is player news. Yeah, player news.
Okay.
Yeah. So
I see a green dot.
Green is player on the rise.
Oh.
These are from CBS Sports, by the way, in case you're wondering.
Okay. Yeah.
So
I've never seen that.
Yeah. Well, you've never usually looked at the league very much, so
yeah.
You usually leave that to me.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
I fill him in, and then he.
Pardonnez-moi, this is only my 3rd show overall, and
he's learning.
Yes.
Learning how things work around here.
You know, one of these days I'm going to get internet and kick your ass. One of these years.
One of these days, he's going to kick my ass.
Very funny.
One of these days, man.
Where did that come from? I don't know.
I think that's a cartoon. I forget which one it was where they're like, one of these days. The guy spoke like in a Rocky accent and going, one of these days. I don't remember what it was from, but that's what I remember. Andy Dalton, Mr.
Psycho.
Red Psycho. Looney Man. Okay. Andy Dalton of Cincinnati, Mr. Red Hair and former Horned Frog.
I'm making fun of him.
Yes, I'm aware of that.
Yeah.
Heard ya! Too much fun up in here.
Yep.
Dalton of Cincinnati going at New England, playing an angry Patriots team that just got thrashed by Kansas City.
I feel sorry for you.
We love you. We love you as a former Horned Frog, but that's gonna hurt.
I think they got something to prove, especially now at home.
Yeah.
They're like, okay, yeah.
I didn't tell you this, but after that game with New England, Belichick addressed the media.
Oh, I bet you he was hot.
Well, and a reporter asked the question, are you going to evaluate the quarterback position this week? And Belichick just went, he just scoffed. Didn't even say a word, just scoffed. Like it was no big deal. So that would be a no. I'd say that'd be a no.
How can that be no big deal?
Yeah.
You
yank him from the game in the 4th quarter. You put in Jimmy Garoppolo, who goes 6 for 7, throws a touchdown pass to Gronk.
Come on.
Yeah.
That should be, a
red flag. Woo!
That should be
warning signs.
By the way, again, thank you, Brady, for sucking.
Yes.
Because you suck.
We owe you.
So, yes.
That's karma for 2 years ago when you kicked our ass in the semifinal.
Bitch.
So.
Boy, I sure hope no players watch our channel.
No. We were so happy. We gave the television a double middle finger, both of us. Yeah. So we were so happy at that.
Yeah.
I did it, and then he's like, "What are you doing that for?" "Oh, karma for 2 years ago." "Oh, can I give one too?"
He had to remind me because it was so heart-wrenching.
Yes.
I'd rather forget.
We were punching pillars in your home.
And weren't we throwing him against the wall?
Oh,
Just ransacking.
Oh, yeah. When we knew it was a loss and we knew it was over, we're like, "Ah,
fuck you, Brady!"
Yeah.
By the way, adults, put your kids to bed.
Yeah. This show is brought to you by We Hate Tom Brady.
Oh.
Is that well enough?
Karma's a bitch.
Yeah.
Bitch.
So I would say Dalton, not a must start, more of a desperate number 2 because of that. And then we kind of get into the guys where are not recommended options, but again, if you're desperate plays like Bortles of Jacksonville going up against Pittsburgh, Jacksonville's receiver situation kind of muddy with Cecil Shorts out with a hamstring issue. I think Lee's still with a hamstring, so not a great play there. Fitzpatrick of Houston going up against Dallas. Now the Dallas defense not great, so again more of a high number 2 play for you. What do you think of Mr. Bridgewater in Minnesota? He is actually, I think, filling in quite nicely for the injured Matt Castle. He's the rookie out of Louisville.
Free agent doesn't mean no team.
Free agent means, for fantasy, no team. Not free agent means, they're available. But Bridgewater, I think, has actually looked pretty good handling that offense. Going up against Green Bay this week, tough matchup at Green Bay. So not a recommended 1, but probably at least a 2 with some upside, I think. He's starting to get a grip on the offense. Now, the Vikings need to get Cordero Patterson more involved in the offense. Their number 1 receiver. They're working Asiata and McKinnon at running back, filling that position. Okay. But they need to get their top receiver involved. He's not done much of anything of late. But as long as they can do that, better.
Excuse me.
Alex Smith of Kansas City, coming off that big week against New England. What do you think about him going to San Francisco?
Well, if his team plays anything like they did last week, I think you're okay.
But again, it's on the road. That was at home. This is a different environment. Levi Stadium, different environment. But
I think you're all right.
Was it you who told me that Levi Stadium can also get loud because of the way it was built?
Yes.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
Maybe not break the record
like Arrowhead did on Monday.
Big ups on them.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Suck it, Seattle. We have the record back.
Yes. Yeah. Definitely. Yeah. But I think certainly a high, at least high number 2. If you don't have better options, I think he's could be. Or if you don't have potentially maybe like a guy like Tannehill, if you use him as a regular option, then you could plug in Alex Smith. And then we see Kyle Orton, first game in a while at Detroit. He's projected for 16. Does he get there?
Who knows?
Yeah, because really, Buffalo only has 1 elite option at wide receiver, and that's Sammy Watkins. Unless he throws dink and dunks to like Jackson or Spiller, their 1-2 combo at running back. Maybe.
I'm a dink and dunk kind of guy too, because here's the thing: on each down, you only need 10 yards. So if you throw a little shovel pass for say 3 yards, that's a 3-yard pass. Then you can have your receivers run for that other 7,
right?
Whatever,
right?
It'll tire out the defense if you just do the small plays. So I'd recommend Mr. Orton, if you're listening. That's the way I'd recommend you play.
Yeah, but going up against that Detroit defense, I wouldn't say he's an elite starting option. Maybe if you play in a 3-quarterback league, maybe if you're desperate, but not a recommend 1 or 2. Because then we're getting into guys that really have struggled. Mike Glennon of Tampa Bay. I wouldn't recommend him against the Saints in New Orleans. Drew Stanton of Arizona against Denver. Wouldn't really recommend him going to Denver playing in that mile-high air. Austin Davis of St. Louis filling in for the injured Shaun Hill, going up at Philly. There's Mr. Brady playing Cincinnati at home. Now he's projected for only 15 fantasy points coming off that horrible week. Only 15. Surprised?
Yeah. No, not really.
I can't say I am either. And Cincinnati's defense is actually quite strong. And they're undefeated. So, clearly they're doing something right in Cincinnati. So, I mean, yes, they're going to be hungry, but I don't know if you can really, I mean, if you have, the dilemma is, do you sit him? Do you pull Belichick, and do you bench Brady at this point on your fantasy roster?
Do you pull Belichick and do you bench Brady?
Yes.
Oh,
do you pull a Belichick and bench Brady? That's what I was saying.
Richmond Highlanders. Oh.
That's the team we squeaked out the win against last week.
I wonder if they wear kilts.
Wow. Okay. I did the Phantom of the Opera thing with the Riverdale Phantoms with the whole Hino holding his balls, and now you pull a kilt with the Richmond Highlanders.
Do you know what a Highlander is? They're like from Scotland.
They're from Scotland. They're Scottish.
Ireland. They call.
Oh, that's right. And I should know that because on Nickelodeon I watched Cat Scratch, and there was the one that was voiced by Rob Paulson that said, "I'm from the Highland Quid Clan." Yeah, that's
and then
right.
The TV show Highlanders.
Okay,
that's like Scottish.
That's right. Okay.
Yeah, so hence the
kilt reference. Gotcha. Okay, now I get it. Okay, I learned. The more you know. Dun dun dun. There you go.
Wow.
That's old school. That's NBC old school there for you.
And they still do.
Oh, do they occasionally?
The more you know.
Okay. Well, there you go. That's the reference.
But yes.
Okay. So, would you say Brady's a must start this week against Cincinnati or no?
I don't know.
I can't, after the way he's been of late, I can't say so.
The way he's been playing, Brady.
If you've got better options,
hang it up.
Start them over Brady. Yeah. So then after
the fact that you said that their defense, Cincinnati defense, was good anyway.
They are good. They are really good. They are strong. Yeah.
If you have a better option, maybe.
Yeah, this is kind of the drop-off point because you're not touching these guys. Hoyer, Jake Locker, who's hurt anyway, although he might play this week. He didn't play last week against the Colts due to the wrist injury. Charlie Whitehurst came in and replaced him. The health issue's still there. What's his status? He's still this little red thing means injury. He missed week 4. He did practice this week, so he might play this week against Cleveland. But again, I wouldn't say an elite option anyway. Same with Geno Smith. Same with Kirk. And you're definitely not starting Kirk Cousins against Seattle. Hell no. That is your hell no of the week.
Go ahead and start and get your ass kicked.
That's your hell no.
Yeah.
Now, I might have been wrong on the hell no from last week because I think I said it was Eli, and I think I was probably kicking myself for being that.
Yeah.
All right. On to the guys who pound the rock, the running backs.
I do it every night. No.
Bad boy. Nasty boy.
Like we said, parents put your
kids to bed. All right.
Hey, I'm single. I have no one. If you have any girls on your channel, tell them to look me up. I'm getting desperate. So yes.
But you're not blowing $170 at the clubs again.
80.
You said it was 170.
180.
Oh, 180. 180. Okay.
Yes, it was $80 at one and
180.
Yeah. Bad.
He regrets that one.
You wake up, you go home with a boner that you have to take care of. No.
Wow. Okay.
You went there, so I just had to
roll with it. I know it.
It's your fault.
It's my fault. I admit that. I admit when I'm wrong.
Although some of them girls, they got some good looking ones.
All right. Moving right along. Nothing much to say after that.
Speechless, folks.
Yeah. I can't. How am I supposed to follow that?
You're not.
No.
Goodbye.
Rather be a leader than a follower. That's how I follow it. Right there. Top running back projection, DeMarco Murray of Dallas. Dallas has definitely kind of leaned on the run at times this season, although Romo did have a big week last week. Murray's projected for 21 points. He is the lead back in Dallas. No controversy there. Mm-hmm. Going up against Houston at home. Should be in line for a good week. Definitely not sitting Marshawn Lynch. As always, beast mode in full effect. Considering, again, what the Giants did to Washington, should have a good week. Projected for 19 points.
Mm-hmm.
Le'Veon Bell of Pittsburgh, we've said start your Steelers. Should definitely be a top option this week. Jamal Charles is number 4. What a week he had on Monday night. He was everywhere.
Yeah.
Charles in charge. He was.
Yes.
I mean, piling up the touchdowns.
Let's see. Hadn't had a touchdown
all year. Had what? 2 at least last week. 3. That's right. 3 last week.
3 in one night.
In one night. Yeah. Bad ankle? What bad ankle? I don't see a bad ankle.
Coming back with a vengeance.
Yeah. I don't see a bad ankle. Do you? No.
Sitting on the bench thinking, I wish I didn't have to miss. Well, he's back.
I will not play second fiddle to Niall Davis again. That's his backup, by the way.
Yeah, I knew that.
Okay, good.
He's back.
He's back. Jamal's back, everybody. So I think you can safely go with him against the Niners. Even though the Niners defense has been traditionally tough, you're not sitting Jamal Charles after that performance. No way.
Especially that dive in the
end zone. Yeah, that was great. Yeah.
Awesome.
Wee.
Yeah.
Matt Forte of Chicago. Again, Carolina, the matchup, good considering how bad Carolina's been. So you're definitely going with Forte. Same with LaShawn McCoy. Now, interestingly, number 7, Rashad Jennings of the Giants, a Giant running back, number 7 on the projection list this week. So, Again, Giants on the rise. So, and going up against an Atlanta defense that traditionally has not been strong this season. So I think you can definitely go with Jennings as a low 1, high 2.
Yeah.
He's clearly been the main back, no threat from Andre Williams, the backup. He's been the guy that's got most of the work.
Yeah.
Do you really think the Giants miss Ahmad Bradshaw after that? I don't. I'm glad he's a Colt.
Yeah.
Who, by the way, is once again, we have to say, the way better back than Mr. Trent Richardson. You have to grit your teeth when you trace Trent Richardson because
he's doing better this
a little.
I mean,
it's progress.
He's another one of those. He's another one of the runners that once you give him space, he gonna go by.
Yeah,
but
if he gets space,
he's got to have space to work.
Yes, yeah. That's just the thing. Now I will say he and Bradshaw both played well last week against Tennessee. Of course, that was a blowout, but Colts have been blowout city lately, so
yeah,
so that's good. There's Gio Bernard, one of my favorite dual threat running backs from Cincinnati, going to New England. He's projected for 15 points. I think, again, solid number 2. Definitely a PPR play. Definitely a strong flex play as well. PPR, points per reception. PPR leagues. Those are leagues where you actually get points for your players that get that catch passes.
Mm-hmm.
So you get a point per reception. That's why it's called PPR.
Oh.
Yeah. Ours is standard. Ours is different. Ours is not PPR. So that's the difference between standard league and PPR.
Okay. So PPRs, they get points if they catch it plus yards?
Well, they get a point for every reception. So it's 1 point per catch.
Okay.
Instead of just getting points for the yardage, you also get a point for the reception.
Oh.
Yeah. So say for example, say for example, Welker catches 11 passes and 110 yards, then you get 22 points instead of just the 11.
Okay. Yes.
So,
all right.
So PPR leagues tend to be higher scoring as well. So, I like Bernard. I think he's definitely a strong option. Cincinnati's got a nice 1-2 punch with him and Jeremy Hill, so I like him. Zach Stacy of the Rams, he's their main option. Going to Philly, tough, but I would say at least a strong number 2. He's projected for 14 points this week. Coming off the bye, they're well rested. Same with Cincinnati, so they're going to be ready to go. I think you can roll with him. Frank Gore of San Francisco, he's actually an interesting case because, yes, he's the main back in San Francisco. He's projected for 14 points this week, but he's getting up there in age. And he's got a rookie back behind him named Carlos Hyde who played at Ohio State, was very impressive at Ohio State, and starting to maybe kind of take some touches away from Gore. So I don't know when the time's going to come where they're going to start using Hyde more. But for now, as long as they're giving Gore plenty of touches, he'll still be productive.
Yeah, and he is good.
He is very good. I'm not going to deny that at all, as long as he's healthy. He's also had injury issues with him getting up there in age. So as long as he's healthy, I think Gore's a safe play. Now, I mentioned Eddie Lacy and how he's struggled with Green Bay, but going up against a Minnesota defense that has been carved up like a knife through butter at times this season, he is projected for 14 points. With the way the Packers played last week, do you think Lacy gets there this week? If you're an owner that really wants to remain solid on Lacy, Do you trust him with the matchup, with the way they played last week? Do you ride that wave of momentum? I think you can too. I think, again, the matchup's strong. You're playing at home. Our opponent has him, so we hope he doesn't do too well. We can't hope he does too well. But again, everything screams he's going to have a decent week as long as they commit to the run game. Now there's Matt Asiata of Minnesota. He is now the main back, but they are also using McKinnon, who we got off of waivers, as kind of this 1-2 punch in Minnesota. Okay. So they're both going to have probably a stronger week. He's projected for 12 points, probably with the extra touchdown going up at Green Bay. I think he's definitely worth a start as at least a high-end number 2. The fact that he's getting, he's come more of a ground and pound runner. McKinnon, boy, I'm getting blown up with the words. McKinnon is more of like that dual threat back. He's a speed freak. He's like very much of a deck of Darren Sproles. So that's why I got McKinnon off waivers. Now, there was a bit of a concern that he has a little bit of an ankle issue, but it looks like all signs right now he's going to play. So we're going to roll with him this week. I like the matchup. Green Bay isn't exactly, world beaters on defense this season, so I like the matchup. Monty Ball of Denver. The name irks bad memories for us, but actually this season he's starting to kind of slowly get things going a little bit. He's projected for 11 points this week, playing Arizona at home. You can't really afford to bench any Denver players, obviously, with the way that the talent goes around them. But, I'd say, again, more of a high-end 2. I think certainly the potential is there for a touchdown because, Peyton can't throw every time. But the Arizona defense with Arians, is going to be strong.
Yeah.
So definitely intrigued there. Now, here's a guy. I just pulled a Madden. Here's a guy that we picked up off of waivers that I really like. The rookie out of Washington, Bishop Sankey from Tennessee. He is starting to get more of the workload. Sean Green not getting a whole lot of work. Now, Sankey's got the touchdown last week against the Colts. Scored 11 points for us last week. He's projected for 11 again this week going up against Cleveland. I love this matchup. I think Sankey could potentially be a breakout star for us. And I was talking to you before the show about how 4 years ago with the Indiana Bolts, and we were the team that we were struggling early going, and we got Peyton Hillis of Cleveland off the wire and turned our season around. I think Sankey could be that guy for us.
Really?
Yes, I really do. I think, he's a very – I watched him play college at Washington. He's a very, very much a north-south runner. When he finds the hole, it's like you say he gone. That's what Sankey is.
You give him space.
You give him space.
Bye, Felicia.
Bye, Felicia. And he goes, yes. So I really like what I've seen from him of late. So I like the matchup. Mm-hmm. We're starting him this week as a low 1, high 2 guy, and I think he's going to put out good numbers if Tennessee remains to committing him being the lead back. At this point, they've got to realize he's the better talent than Sean Green. Sean Green is decent, but not a number 1 running back, I don't think. So I think he's a great option. After that, Doug Martin of Tampa Bay going up against New Orleans. He's good to see he's healthy again, but projected for 11 points in New Orleans. I'd say more of a number 2 if you're desperate, maybe even a low 3. Not obviously Tampa Bay's offense, not the greatest right now, even though Glennon is a quarterback now, and that's good. And he might keep the job because McCown did have a sprained thumb. We watched the game where he got hurt. Sprained thumb, potentially out for a couple weeks. So, but who knows if we'll get that starting job back, because when Glennon was with the offense is moving a lot better with Glennon under center.
Yeah.
So
thumb right to
in
the
helmet. Face. In the face.
It did not look like it felt good at all.
So I don't know if you can really trust Martin right now, but if you don't have better options, again, number 2, number 3. Arian Foster of Houston, I think you can go with him as long as he's healthy, as long as he plays. He didn't play last week because of a hamstring issue. Alfred Blue came in, did a nice job filling in for him, but as long as Foster's healthy, he's the guy against the Dallas defense that traditionally is not strong. I think you can go with him. Ben Tate of Cleveland, speaking of being healthy again. Now, he missed a couple weeks ago with Baltimore with the knee issue, and it says here, limited Wednesday, so you might want to monitor Ben Tate if you have him on your roster, see what his status is for the week. Other than that, he's projected for 10 points. Those are RB2 numbers. So I think that's what we rate him as long as he plays. We mentioned Ahmad Bradshaw, projected for 10 points against Baltimore this week. Would you say going up against Baltimore that he's the better option over Trent, or could you possibly get away with starting both?
I see Richardson getting better.
Okay.
He had so much turmoil last year.
Because he was just learning the playbook.
Yeah, I think one of the sportscasters said he woke up one night and he was a Bengal, and then
Brown.
He
was a Brown.
Sorry.
And then the next day he was a Colt.
He goes to bed a Brown and wakes up the next morning. Oh, by the way, you've been traded. Bye.
Yeah.
It's like, whoa.
Yeah, that's
okay. How would that not throw you for a loop?
That would. I agree. Any trade throws you for a loop.
Any unexpected trade
would
throw you for a loop, and he didn't see it coming.
Shoot, there were players this season in Major League Baseball that had to leave the dugout because they got traded in the middle of a game.
What?
Yeah, true stories. I've seen it. I saw it on SportsCenter. Yeah.
Who the f would do that?
Yeah, trade in the middle of a game. 6th, 7th inning. Oh, by the way, different team now. Bye. I gotta leave. I gotta go. Like the Ron White.
Yeah.
So.
Wouldn't that suck if you were playing the team that you
got traded to? That would royally suck. That would be the worst trade of all time.
Switch dugouts.
By the way, switch dugouts, switch jerseys. Here's a new hat. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
What just happened? I was winning and now I'm losing. What the heck?
Or I was losing and
now I'm winning. Yay! So,
yeah. Either that or it could be, my team was, winning, but now I'm going to kick your ass.
Yes, exactly. So,
I don't know.
Right.
But yes, I see Richardson getting better.
So you see
as
him
time
as
goes on,
but do you see him as usable against Baltimore this week?
You can give that a try.
Okay.
Maybe a low one.
Low one, high two.
Yeah.
I would say the same for Bradshaw though too. I think both are definitely usable. Maybe even Richardson is a flex option. Now, do you know what a flex is? When I say flex, some leagues have the option to play a flex player. It can be a running back, it can be a wide receiver, kind of like an additional spot on your roster.
Okay.
It's called a flex.
Okay.
So it's like an additional spot where you don't have a standard play, but it's just like a last ditch spot. So
yeah. So
I could see either of those being in that spot as well.
Mm-hmm.
Kerry Robinson of the Saints, I would definitely day. How about definitely say? Definitely day. Wow. Spit it out. Definitely say start your Saints against the Bucs. What day is definitely day?
Time for you to get a straight jacket.
It's wow. Yeah, there's one.
You need caffeine.
Yeah, I need something. Oh man, I just snorted. What the hell? Yeah, exactly. Definitely day. There's one definitely for the blooper reel. I'll remember.
On the blooper reel.
Yeah, right. So start your Saints. Andre Ellington of Arizona, who's looked good of late as a starting running back, projected for 10 points at Denver. Those are the only double-digit guys going forward. After that, again, pretty big drop-off, but not great. Shane Vereen of New England, Chris Ivory of the Jets, Forsett of Baltimore, Bush of Detroit, Jackson of Buffalo. Those are your next 5. Out of that group, I would say probably the best option of the 5, as long as he's healthy, is probably Bush of Detroit. Because, again, the Lions played the Jets last week. They got stymied against the run because the Jets' run defense is strong. And now with Joique Bell out with a concussion potentially, Bush is going to be the lead guy. So as long as that's the case, I think he's going to be in line for a strong week. So I think he, out of that group of 5, is a strong play. Vereen obviously is a dual threat back. So he's could potentially have a good week as well. Not fond of Ivory going to San Diego. The Baltimore running back situation is a mess. Is it going to be Forsett? Is it going to be Lorenzo Taliaferro, who we have on our bench? Is it going to be Pierce when he's healthy? We don't know. So that's a head-scratching situation. And Buffalo, between Jackson and Spiller, you don't know who's going to get most of the work. So I think Bush out of that 5 is the stronger option.
Yeah. Also, probably the most consistent out of that list.
Oh, absolutely.
Probably the most consistent.
I'd say you can make a case for Vereen too, but I would say Bush is the stronger, barely. Vereen is a close second.
Put Bush 1 and
Vereen 2. Maybe
1A.
1A. 1A, 1B, or 1-2. Yeah, or 1-2. Yeah, I agree with that.
Uh-huh.
I mentioned Spiller there. He is projected for 7 points.
Only 7 points? Ugh.
Well, but again, it's the Bills with they're no longer the starting quarterback, with a backup quarterback playing at Detroit, in Detroit against that tough defense. Oh, by the way, speaking of Detroit's defense, I read a SportsCenter alert today. Ndamukong Suh walked out of his press conference after getting hounded with reports about his future. He was walked out, stormed out of the media session. Because people kept asking him, what's your future going to be? He just stormed off. F you, media. I'm not answering these questions. Screw you.
Every time I think of Ndamukong Suh, there is a song I think of. It's on Who's Talking, but it's Cry, Cry, Baby. Cry, baby. Quit whining, you son of a bitch. You're supposed to be a professional football player. Grow the fuck up. I'm sorry, but I am so freaking sick and tired of hearing about Ndamukong Suh and all of his shit.
I said the same thing last year about Johnny Manziel.
No, Ndamukong Suh has never had a good year as far as keeping out of trouble.
Yeah. Getting fined, getting suspended.
Oh my God. Bench him, can him, get him the fuck out of the NFL. I'm sorry. I know I'm going off on you, Mr. Suh, but get the hell gone.
Get gone. Get walking.
Who in their right mind would ever take him?
No, that's a song. These boots are made for walking.
Yeah.
That's just what they'll do. One of these days, these boots are going to walk all over you.
Yes. But, oh my goodness, quit whining like a little bitch and play football, damn it.
Right.
Parental advisory. Yes, I am.
Okay, good. I know I started that whole spiel by mentioning it, but it needed to be said.
I'm so sick about hearing about it.
Right. So again,
Owens all over again.
Pretty much. Or Chad Johnson.
Even though T.O. was a wide receiver, it's still the same shit.
T.O. was a white receiver?
Wide receiver.
Oh, I thought you said white receiver.
No. I have said it before, folks. I would expect something like that to happen maybe in high school or college.
Right.
I would expect,
by the time you get to the big league.
By the time you get to...
It's time to put on your big boy pants.
Yeah. It's time to act mature. It's time to be adults.
Yeah.
Okay.
And not go stomping on players' arms.
And heads. Ndamukong Suh, I think, was the head.
Yes. Yeah. Well, no. That was the guy from Dallas. What was his name?
I don't know.
Like Farnsworth or Harmsworth or something like that.
But no.
Hainsworth.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, they get into fights all the time. And some I've actually seen this season. It's not like, I hate you, let's fight. It's, I get into fight because my brother is.
Right.
Right. I'm going to step up for my other guys.
Yeah.
But still, come on.
Yeah.
Grow some maturity. I know you got something hanging down between your legs. Grow a pair, people.
Wow, that was great.
Come on, you had to know this was coming. Yeah,
exactly.
We always have to.
Exactly. Had to know it was coming.
Just imagine if Matt was here.
Okay. Yeah, like our last one. Even though we had to condense that show, it was definitely still funny.
You think just me and him are bad?
Yeah. So again, after Spiller, it's a pretty big drop-off. Like I mentioned, Taliaferro of Baltimore. Toby Gerhart of Jacksonville has been a bust city. No.
Mm-hmm.
Mentioned Hyatt, but only a backup. Chris Johnson of the Jets. No against San Diego. Alfred Morris against Seattle again. Heck no when you're playing Seattle. After that, pretty big drop-off. Ridley only projected for 5. Richardson only projected for 5. Surprising Darren Sproles only projected for 5 points going up against St. Louis, but maybe tough matchup.
Is there any projected for 1?
Oh, for
none?
For
there's
1.
3.
Yeah, your 3s are Terrence West, Brandon Oliver, Jack Woods Rogers, Anton Smith. Guys normally don't play. Roy Halou. There's Sean Green. James. Your 2s, James Starks. Yeah, Devonta Freeman, McCluster, Bobby Rainey, who won't play. Yeah, your 1s are Dree Archer and Kyle Juszczyk. I don't even want to know how to pronounce that name. Juszczyk of Baltimore. I think that's a fullback.
Juszczyk.
Juszczyk? There's no R in it. I don't know. If someone knows how to pronounce the name of Baltimore's fullback, please tell us. Because we're looking at that going.
Doing us a solid.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
All right. Moving on now to the wideouts. We're getting there. We've done before 8. Wideouts.
Survivor night.
Ah, yes. Yeah, that's why. We mentioned the Steelers.
Many people would know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, right. We mentioned the Steelers. Your top option is Antonio Brown. Top option in Pittsburgh. Big Ben security blanket. 18 points. Start your Steelers. Of course, they're the start of the week.
Wide receivers, no.
We mentioned Jordy Nelson. 18 points. A.J. Green of Cincinnati, 17. Now, Calvin Johnson is projected for 16 points this week.
Okay.
Hopefully, he is finally fully healthy because, again, we mentioned the 1 point last week with the ankle. Yeah, so hopefully he can bounce back for all you Megatron owners this week as well.
Mm-hmm.
Mentioned Julio Jones, top option for Matt Ryan, 16 points. Yeah. There's our guy Dez Bryant, number 6. 16 points this week projected against Houston.
Has he had a bad week?
No. Dez has not had a bad week. No.
Yeah.
No. Dez has always been strong, and I expect nothing different this week.
Yeah.
You get Demaryius Thomas back off the bye from Denver, Peyton's top option.
Especially against Houston.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Their secondary is not exactly world-beating either.
Their secondary has never been that
visible. So... Yeah. I didn't know if you were going to add something else to the invisible.
No, Dez Bryant's going to carve their secondary up like a Thanksgiving turkey.
Yeah, there you go.
Although we're
in October, away from that.
Yeah.
Not never too early to think about it.
No.
Demaryius Thomas, again, you get him back this week from Denver. You're definitely starting. Well, yeah. And yet you just ate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
You ate a big meal. You ate a meal big enough for a water buffalo.
Well, come on. I have a fast metabolism. I always think about food.
That's true.
Or at least eating something.
Right.
Yeah.
There's your face. There's your face shot.
Think about it.
I am thinking about it. Yeah. Jeremy Maclin, mentioned him, top option in Philly, 15 points. Mentioned him with Randall Cobb, you're starting him. There's Steve Smith Sr. of Baltimore. It is Steve Smith Sr. on the back of his jersey. Seriously, it does say Smith Sr. of Baltimore. He went Steve Smith Sr. But he's projected for 14 points against the Colts, developing a nice rapport with Joe Flacco. So he's definitely a strong option this week as well. I mentioned Kelvin Benjamin, top option in Carolina for Cam Newton, projected for 14 points, the rookie out of Florida State. There's Mr. Cruz, Mr. Salsa, Victor Cruz, projected for 14 points against the Falcons.
Who's the rookie out of Florida State?
Benjamin.
Oh, Benjamin. Yes, Calvin.
The top, pretty much Cam Newton's only major option at wide receiver now that Steve Smith has gone to Baltimore. So there's Brandon Marshall of Chicago. Always an elite option for Jay Cutler. So definitely can roll with him. I mentioned Keenan Allen, top option in San Diego with Phillip Rivers right now. There's Mr. Reggie Wayne.
Only 13 points.
13 points against Baltimore. Yeah. You say only like it's a bad thing.
I would think Reggie Wayne would be
higher. Yeah. That is true.
Of course, then again, he does not have Peyton Manning anymore.
No, but you can't say luck is a bad difference from that.
I am very happy with Andrew Luck and what he's been doing for the Colts. I mean, they are some huge shoes to fill.
Absolutely.
Coming in after Manning, but I think he's done well. I know we're not in quarterbacks now, but we're talking about
with the Colts, with Wayne. But the thing of it is, there's plenty of weapons to go around.
Oh yeah,
Indy with Wayne Hilton, our guy, Mr. T.Y. Hilton. Let's see, Moncrief, the rookie out of Ole Miss.
Mm-hmm.
His tight ends, Allen, Fleener.
Yeah.
Who am I missing? Anybody?
Not that I know of.
Okay,
at least not any big names. But yeah, we talk about spreading the offense and using your weapons.
Yeah.
Reggie Wayne, of course, is. But yeah, he's, as long as Indy keeps the talent on the field.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah.
There's DeAndre Hopkins of Houston. He's starting to become a strong option for Ryan Fitzpatrick. No longer Andre Johnson's your top option because he's getting up there in age. Hopkins, the young guy, projected for 12 points this week against Dallas. Again, Dallas not a great defense, so I think he's a solid low 1, high 2 option for you this week. Again, Emmanuel Sanders of Denver, 12 points. Again, you get your Broncos back, so start them. There's Mr. Crabtree. We mentioned him with the San Francisco with Kaepernick.
Okay, yeah.
12 points against the Chiefs, so I think he's a strong option. Alshon Jeffrey, I think, is safe. Vincent Jackson. Tampa Bay, we said, of course, their offense is not that great, but Vincent Jackson is really now the only receiver that Mike Glennon really has to throw to because Mike Evans is out 2 to 3 weeks, groin injury. So Jackson now, who's mostly been his reliable receiver anyway, projected for 11 points. I would say probably, again, it's in New Orleans, so it's going to be tough. High 2, low 3, I would say, possibly. I think is a safe bet. Not elite, but... Now, Terrence Williams of Dallas. He is Romo's number 2 option. He doesn't get as many looks as Bryant does, but he occasionally gets some strong looks. So as long as Romo's on par, as long as Romo has, time to throw and makes these throws, I think Williams is a decent number 2.
And playing against Houston, again, secondary is not that strong, so he could get a few looks.
Yes. Michael Floyd of Arizona, projected for 11 points in Denver. Again, he is actually projected for more points than Larry Fitzgerald. That, again, is kind of surprising, but Floyd is the younger receiver. So we're seeing this trend where the younger guys are starting to get better projections than the older guys in terms of receiver. So, but you're not surprised by that?
No, because typically when you're playing a game like football, typically the older you get, you'll slow down a little bit. I mean, football takes a toll on the body, especially at a wide receiver role, because you get hit a lot. And they've been talking, during the shows and the NFL Todays and Sports Centers. This is becoming a younger league.
Right.
Lately.
Yes.
The veterans are starting to
retire or
slow down because even though with all the changes to protect the players, this is still a very aggressive game, and it does take a toll on the body.
Brady's a prime example. Going back to that.
Hang it up, dude.
Yeah, but I think, and also with Arizona, the quarterback situation. Carson Palmer has been hurt, but Stanton has been filling. I think I mentioned it last show. Stanton has been filling in nicely as the backup.
Yes.
So I think, and he
Arizona has gotten very lucky when it comes to their offensive personnel.
Yes. So I think that will be, and I also, and not on the list yet, but I also like John Brown, the rookie out of Pittsburgh State. He's a sleeper for me this week. He's kind of my sleeper because he's coming on very strong as well. Golden Tate of Detroit is also projected for 11 points, so not as many as Calvin, of course, but a strong weapon for Matthew Stafford, a strong number 2. I think he could work out. There's Eddie Royal. Now, we were also very fortunate because Eddie Royal of San Diego had 22 points last week. Our opponent had him. So he broke out, and yet we were still fortunate to win.
Wow.
Yeah. So he's kind of becoming a big option in San Diego as well, along with Keenan Allen. So he's
only projected
for 10 points, but you're playing the Jets. Tougher matchup.
A little bit.
That's why. So
who were they playing last week?
San Diego, Jacksonville. No surprise. No surprise.
No wonder he got that 22.
So
Jacksonville sucks.
Yeah. Once again, do I have to say it? Death, taxes, Jaguars suck.
Yep. Well, pretty much lately.
Yeah. And Raiders.
They used to be good, but
did I tell you Raiders fired their head coach?
You said they were probably
official Monday. Dennis Allen Gone. There's the door.
Bye-bye.
Yeah. So, and I believe they named Tony Sperano as their new one. Yes.
Okay.
So, formerly Miami's head coach. So he is the
I
fill-in.
wonder what he'll do.
And we shall see. Oakland just needs, I mean, it's not that Oakland's bad. I mean, they're not, I don't think they're Jacksonville bad. They have young talent. The talent's there.
And who the heck would go
It's
to
the
the games
defense.
and who would go to the games? Their coaches and their players stink almost as bad as the raw sewage that backed up into their stadium
You're talking
a couple
Oakland.
years ago.
Yeah, you're talking Oakland.
Raiders.
Yeah, the Raiders. They were
Yes.
talking Jacksonville.
No.
Okay.
Yes. Hello. Who wants to go to the games anyway?
Yeah, exactly.
Raw
Oakland
sewage stadium.
needs a new stadium. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
badly in the worst way. But Jacksonville, I find it funny about
They need
Jacksonville.
new everybody.
They do. They need new everybody.
Besides the cheerleaders.
Well,
cheerleaders
yeah.
can stay.
Well, they have a rookie quarterback too, so you really can't.
I'm talking about the cheerleaders.
I know, but I'm just talking about they don't need new everything. They just have a rookie quarterback that needs to learn the system and get rapport with his young receivers. I mean, come on. When it gets so bad that you're taking out bleachers and putting in jumbo scoreboards and putting in cabanas in one of the end zones for the swimming pool, hey, your team sucks? Come swim in our pool. Don't want to watch the game? Swim in the pool.
Rookie quarterback? You said rookie quarterback?
Yes. Blake Bortles. Yeah, the rookie.
Let's see. You're in Jacksonville.
Yeah.
You got hot-ass cheerleaders. He just needs to get laid. And maybe then he'll be less...
Or win a game. Win a game first. Win a game.
Win a game, get laid, be less distracted. I mean,
Jump in the pool. Then he can jump in the pool. There you go.
with one of the cheerleaders in their bikinis.
Oh,
I've
boy.
been single for 2 years. It's wearing on me. I'm sorry.
So fun picking on Jacksonville.
Yes, it is.
Oh.
You're a kitty.
Again, moving right along.
We're going to get in trouble.
Yeah. So after Royal, Edelman of New England, I would say a decent option, again, projected for 10 points. These are also double-digit guys. Roddy White of the Falcons, number 2 option for Matt Ryan. Colston of the Saints, 10 points. I think again, start your Saints.
Yes.
Steelers and Saints. Those are pretty much your starts of the week. Steelers
Yeah.
and Saints. Now, there's Sammy Watkins of Buffalo. He's the top option in Buffalo, the rookie out of Clemson. So he's really their big-time receiving threat. So that's
Okay.
why he's projected for 10 points. Really the only receiver Buffalo's got. So
Was I thinking Hilton is a tight end?
no, wide receiver. So Watkins is I mean, Orton's going to have to throw to somebody, and Orton's probably going to throw to him. So
Yeah.
that's probably why he's projected for 10 points. And then Percy Harvin of Seattle, no-brainer Seahawks. They're kind of, obviously, they're a must-start of the week, usually always, too. After that, 9 points projected for 2 of our guys, Welker and Hilton.
Only 9?
Which one are you more surprised by, Welker or Hilton? Oh, both?
As good of players as they are individually. Jeez.
Yeah.
Okay, who they playing?
Arizona and Baltimore at home.
Well, yeah, I am surprised at that.
Yeah.
At home?
Maybe not as much Baltimore, but maybe Arizona. I'm surprised by the 9. I am.
Yeah.
But again, we mentioned the fact that there's so many mouths to feed in Denver and Indy.
Oh, yeah, true.
Maybe that's why. But I think they'll still get plenty of targets. They have all year for us. So
Yeah.
there's Andre Johnson, 9 points. So again, we mentioned Hopkins being the better option, but he's still going to get his share of looks. So he's an okay play. 8 points projected for guys like Pierre Garçon. That's kind of surprising because, again, going up against Seattle, that's tough. But again, who else is Kirk Cousins going to throw to? You've got Garçon, Deshaun Jackson. Those are pretty much your 2 main options. His tight end just got concussed.
Indianapolis should have never gotten rid of him.
Oh, Garçon.
I loved Pierre Garçon.
I know it.
I
know it. He was very entertaining. He was.
Colts wonder why we could never win a Super Bowl again. It's because we wholesale our offense every freaking year.
And our defense sometimes, too.
And our
Get rid of
defense,
Freeney.
which was stupid.
Yeah. So
But then
after
again,
that,
wasn't it Ursay that got pulled over?
Ursay was the one that got drinky. Yes, drinky. No, and prescription pills in his car.
What? Okay.
Well, no, is it prescription or non-prescription? I don't know which one
I
it
don't
was,
know. But yeah, that's the thing.
yeah.
Ursay must not have been in his right mind all
No.
these years. Who's got us now?
What? Well, while he's away from the team,
Yeah.
I think his daughter. I think. Yeah, his daughter is running the team. Grigson, of course, is the GM. But
why did they fire Polian? Where's he at now?
Because do you remember after the team went 2-14 after the whole thing Manning didn't play debacle, they did a fire sale on everybody mostly. They released Manning, they released Polian, they fired Caldwell, they fired Polian. Grigson cleaned house. As soon as he got the GM job, he fired everybody. So so.
I wonder how he's going to.
Well, you go 2-14, you have to do something to get the fans back.
That's true.
Brandon Cooks of the Saints projected for 8 points. As we've said, start your Saints. Now, Brian Quick of the Rams, he's on our bench. But he has emerged as the number 1 wide receiving option in St. Louis. He's projected for 8 points, decent option. Yep. So we have better options for this week with Bryant, Welker, and Hilton, but not everyone might be in that position. Yeah. So if you have a Brian Quick and you maybe want to use him as a number 2, number 3, definitely worth looking at.
And there comes the drop-off.
Yeah.
At the bottom of the list.
Ruben Randall of the Giants, 8. Malcolm Floyd, 8. There's Fitzgerald, projected for 8 points. Hawkins of Cleveland, 7. Jennings of Minnesota, projected for 7. Allen Robinson, Jacksonville, he's kind of going down. 7. Eric Decker. There's John Brown. I mentioned him as a sleeper. 7 points projected, but could outperform that the way he's played of late. I mentioned the rookie Jordan Matthews. 7 points. Who are you looking at?
Brown.
Oh, Brown. He's a Cardinal. Yep, he's a Cardinal.
And his little icon says,
he's on the rise. Yep. So.
What's a blue?
Blue is going down. Blue is cold player. Means you're going down.
Yes.
So Matthews is kind of trending in the wrong direction just a little bit, but he's really the 3rd option in Philly, so maybe that's why he's not having too big a week. And then again, after that, not recommended options. Yeah, Torrey Smith, Devin Hester, Bolden only projected for 6. Lewis Murphy, no Tampa Bay. Alan Hearns to Jacksonville. Kendall Wright. Hakeem Nicks only projected for 5. Hakeem Nicks. That's what we forgot about. Nicks.
Oh, yeah.
Who is a Colt now. Yeah, Nicks. Yeah, we forgot. Of course, we forget about Nicks because he's not really involved that often in the offense.
Maybe 1 or 2 looks.
Yeah, but nothing crazy. Yeah. No. So after that, not recommended. I really below that.
No.
So all right, moving on. Tight ends this week. Top options, no surprise at the top. Our guy, Orange Julius Thomas, 15 points, top projection this week.
Hell yeah.
Nice to have him back after the bye.
Thank God.
Yeah. Jimmy Graham, 14, no surprise there as well.
Real quick drop-off on tight ends.
Well, you got to think. Tight end, there's not very many elite options out there. Tight end's a very thin position.
15, 14, 12, 11.
Yeah, big drop-offs. Now, there's the guy I mentioned, Larry Donnell of the Giants, who had the big week last week with 3 touchdowns. 12 points projected this week. I'd say he's a guy who can definitely plug in.
And who did you say was the joke on New England that absolutely went off?
I wouldn't say went off. Brandon LaFell.
Yes.
I gritted my teeth when I said his name on the show, too. Brandon LaFell.
He had a good night.
Well, he's in New England. He's in a better place. He's in a better team. Yes. With a better quarterback. Sort of.
Wouldn't have known last week.
No, you wouldn't have known it last week. No.
Sorry, Brady.
Yeah. Like I said, we hate Tom Brady sponsored on the show. But no, Donnell, I think, is definitely a guy who can plug in. Martellus Bennett. Now, there's the guy we picked up last week off waivers and had a big week for us filling in. Mr. Heath Miller of Pittsburgh. Had 14 points for us last week filling in for Thomas. Projected for 11 against the Jaguars. Gee, Nate, do you think we start Heath Miller against the Jaguars if we have a good option with him?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you don't have an option like a Thomas or a Graham.
Well, who's our other names?
Well, Thomas is our main guy. Okay. Miller's our backup. So, clearly, Thomas is a better option.
1 tight end or 2?
We have 2.
Each week.
You start 1. Okay. Well, obviously, we're starting Thomas. Yes. But he's a solid security blanket backup.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah. So.
Let's see.
Then you got.
That could either go either way.
Right, because it's both have good matches. Both are strong offenses. Walker from Tennessee projected for 10 points. He's a reliable tight end. There's Gates of San Diego, always Mr. Reliable in San Diego. And then Gronk, 10 points. So there's your double-digit tight ends. Now, we watched Travis Kelce of the Chiefs, and he also had a big week on Monday night. He's projected for 9 points against San Francisco. I think he could be a potential low 1, high 2 for you.
At San Francisco.
At San Francisco, again, tough, but I think doable.
Yeah.
Olsen of Carolina is projected for 9. You know, you could use this as a coaster.
I didn't. It's almost.
That's what I use it for.
It's almost gone.
Okay, because you're just getting really wet over there. In a good way, don't think perverted people.
Who's the one thing perverted?
Well, mostly you, but I just had to throw one in there on that one. There's my stab.
I say nothing.
You say nothing to that too. Okay, we know when to say nothing at least.
Yeah.
Owen Daniels of Baltimore, 8 points projected, along with Jordan Cameron of Cleveland, 8 points. And then after that comes the big drop-off. You're not using Jacksonville's tight end with a 39.5-foot pole.
No.
Zach Ertz of Philly. There's Mr. Ertz. 7 points. There's Dwayne Allen, 7 points against Baltimore projected. Graham of Houston. Ebron of Detroit. Witten only projected for 6 points. Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, very interesting. After that, no one really else I'd recommend off the list.
No.
A lot of free agents.
Yeah.
All right, so to close it out real quick, kickers and defenses, we're only going to really highlight the guys that are going to be in really strong options because, again, usually kicker and defense pretty consistent on your roster. You usually go with the guy you go with, but if you need some other options, they're out there for you.
Damn.
Okay, we've got a damn.
Hauschka
of Seattle, 14 points. Well, they're playing Washington. Seattle's playing Washington.
How can you have half a point?
I don't think it's half a point. I think it's
Crosby,
just
13.5.
13. Oh, well, you could probably round those up to 14, I would say, because. But again, you're playing. These are good matchups at Washington, Minnesota, at Jacksonville. So yeah, you're going to start the guys in the good matchups. Crosby, I mentioned Swisham of Pittsburgh. Start your Steelers.
Mm-hmm.
Dan Bailey of Dallas, 13 points against Houston. Novak of San Diego going up against the Jets, 12 points. Vinatieri's projected for 12 against Baltimore this week.
Not bad.
No.
Screw you movement.
Oh, the moment. Yeah, the moment.
Screw you moment.
Yeah. He started Eli last week and got 32 points out of it and won his week. Yeah. Brown of the Giants is going up, 11 points. Again, the Giants offense coming around. Gostkowski, 11 points projected. The Philly kicker, Cody Parkey, 11 points against the Rams. Gold projected for 10 against Carolina. That's not surprising considering, Carolina's defense has been but,
And then there's our guy, Tucker.
Tucker, yes, projected for 10 against the Colts this week. Tucker's always been reliable for us, so no sign of him losing his job at the moment on our team.
Mm-hmm. And of course, the drop-offs.
But I also like New Orleans kicker against Tampa Bay. They're going to score a lot of points in that game. I would say Denver's kicker against Arizona, decent option, 9 points. Brian of Atlanta, 8 points against the Giants. I think he's a good option. After that, nothing really elite, I would say.
A lot of free agents there.
Yeah. Henry of Detroit against Buffalo. He could be a good one with 8 with a good matchup there. Folk of the Jets at San Diego, though. I wouldn't say that's elite. So, yeah, after that, either bye weeks or drop-offs and zeros. Max zeros. All right. And then defenses we list. DSTs we like for the week. Top projected, obviously no surprise, it's Seattle. 15 points projected against Washington and that horrible offense. So definitely go with them. San Diego against the Jets has been strong. That's surprising to see. Same team has both number 1 and number 2 defense for the week. He has a dilemma. Who does he start? Seattle or San Diego?
You could either.
You could go either way. Exactly. That's a win-win right there.
Looking at the fantasy points, number 1 is 15.
Number 2 is 14.5. So really, it's like lesser. Which would you go?
Lesser of 2 evils.
Exactly. San
Depends
Francisco
on the matchup. Let's see, at Washington and New York, I would go with the Seahawks.
I would too. I'd say that'd be a good option too. San Francisco projected for 13 against Kansas City. Although if Kansas City does to New England or San Francisco what they did to New England, that's not going to happen. So there's the Lions D going up against Buffalo, 12.5. Again, I tried to get the Lions D off waivers for us. We got beat to it. Screw you, Bears. But we got Saints instead.
Yeah, we'll kick your ass with the Saints.
Hey, we beat them in week 1 anyway, so.
Huh?
We beat that team in week 1 anyway, so. The team that we beat is the Bears.
Oh.
Their name is Bears.
Okay.
We're
not playing them this week.
No. But they're a good option. Surprised the Broncos against Arizona are getting 11 points projected. That's surprising. Considering Arizona's
high
offense.
or low?
I would say it's a little bit too high. I think just a little bit, not by much, maybe just a little bit, because Arizona's offense is strong. Now there's Cincinnati against New England, also getting 11. I'm not surprised by that, considering Brady struggles. So there's our Saints, 10.5 against Tampa Bay. I think that could be a little bit higher because, again, Tampa's offense is bunk. But we saw it on Thursday night, 2 weeks ago. Atlanta, it's 56-0. Yeah, change the channel. Watch movies. I watched the Woodpeckers instead. Cowboys against Houston for 9.
He was playing like the
Packers. Surprisingly, I knew you were going with that. Then after that, again, drop off. Green Bay 9. Carolina only getting 8.5 to Chicago. So yeah, we're definitely sit on the bench, feel the bench.
Patriots only 7.5.
7.5 to Cincinnati. Yeah, that's definitely interesting.
Yeah.
Philly only getting 7 to St. Louis. That's kind of surprising. Bears only 7 to Carolina. Some of these are really surprising. But I wouldn't recommend after that. Browns, no. Titans, no. Bucks, heck no. Hell no. Cardinals at Denver. Hell no.
No.
Bills at Detroit. Hell no.
Yeah.
Jets at San Diego. No. So at this point, yeah. Now the Chiefs DST obviously had a good week against New England last week, but now you're going to San Francisco.
Yuck.
Yeah, I don't like that either. After that, you're not touching these teams. 10-foot pole. Texans, Jaguars, Vikings, Falcons, Washington, Raiders, Dolphins. So there you go. Not touching them.
Oh my goodness! And the Raiders and the Dolphins are both
because they're on bye. The worst is Washington. 1.5 projected for 1.5 against Seattle.
No wonder no one has them.
That's right.
Yeah.
They suck. They absolutely suck.
Yeah.
All right, and with that is it. That is it for the Week 5 edition preview here on the FFSR. We have had a blast, as we always do every single time, with the laughs and the comments and the analysis for your team, your home, your league, and your game right here on the FFSR. Yep, there it is.
Where I'm pointing.
You're pointing right at it. You're good. You're good. So go ahead. So again, as always, if you want to on the channel, feel free to leave comments, questions, anything you might have for the games this week. Good luck in Week 5. Go out there, get a victory, and we'll see you again next week for the Week 6 preview on your home, the FFSR, the Fantasy Football Stock Report. Take care, guys.